Hello, I'm called Anwarit Ainghamie. I'm working on the project which called Connecting the Dot. This is the overview of this project. The first one is definition of globalization. The second is the importance of globalization. The third one is how travel, international trade, worldwide communication impact the rate of diabetes. And also there is the chart that shows the rate of people affected by diabetes. And there is how travel, international trade, worldwide communication impact the rate of HIV/AIDS. And also there is the chart that shows the rate of people affected by HIV/AIDS. And also there is how globalization has changed the pattern of spread of disease and the method needed to control disease. And I will come up with the conclusion. Definition of globalization. Globalization is the spread of product, technology, information, and job across national borders and cultures. Also, it describes an interdependence of nations around the globe promoted to free trade. Here there is the importance of globalization. The first one, improving living standards. Also, it includes creativity and innovation. Also, it lowered cost for goods and services. Also, it is easy access to foreign culture. How travel, international trade, worldwide communication impact the rate of diabetes. Travel impact the rate of diabetes when someone take a trip and use the food and drink which has more sugar. For example, my mother gone at Kigali to visit my brother. Here my brother used enough sugar while drinking milk and tea. For that reason, she contaminated diabetes due to using enough sugar. International trade impact the rate of diabetes through increasing the availability and affordability of unhealthy food. For example, when I working on the AA project, I worked on the project called Solve the Problem in the Workplace. In that project, the company which called Megavid produced the Coca-Cola which has much sugar and purchased to other company of other country, and when they used that product, the person affected diabetes. About communication impact the rate of diabetes in terms of imitating someone food and drink. For instance, when someone using social media and mass media in order to build a good connection with people. In that time, she can get a friend and sharing the likely food they use. When someone use chocolate, she or he can communicate to that person to use too, without telling her or him the rules and the regulation to follow. As a result, she or he used many chocolate and contaminate diabetes. Here there is the chart that shows the rate of people affected by diabetes. There is China, India, United States, Brazil, Russia, Mexico, Indonesia, Germany, Egypt, and Japan. How travel, international trade, worldwide communication impact the rate of HIV/AIDS. Travel is the increased risk of sexual transmitted such as HIV/AIDS infection. For example, in Rwanda, precisely in Bigogwe, the girls sharing the same bed with the boys. When someone take a trip in Bigogwe, the parents come in your bed and bring the girl to sharing the same bed. For that reason, someone can do unprepared sex due to that different culture. And if someone has HIV/AIDS, it is the way to contaminate each other. International trade impact the rate of HIV/AIDS, the way people purchase the good and product and combine it with the sex. For example, people who have HIV/AIDS can live in DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, and come to purchase the product in Rwanda by living here. He build a good company and give the job to the people needed. In that case, he can give the money to one of his employer and ask her to give sex. And if she refuses, she will be dismissed at the job. Due to that money, she accepts to do the sex and have HIV/AIDS. Worldwide communication impact the rate of HIV/AIDS. The way someone uses social media like Twitter, Facebook, and WhatsApp for that, you can gain a friend to the person by whom you don't know a lot in terms of behavior. He requests to meet with you in person and precisely the right place to meet. When we reach here, we can do the sex and contaminate HIV/AIDS. Here there is the chart that shows the rate of people affected by HIV/AIDS. How globalization has changed the pattern of the speed of disease and the method needed to control disease. Globalization is impacting on the epidemiology of infection disease and on the capacity to effectively prevent, control, and treat this disease. Increasing globalization, countries now have to create their own form of globalization governments to protect their citizens. Increasing globalization has led to global response to disease outbreaks in various parts of the world. It allows for global spread of disease. It also allows experts and scientists from around the world to identify, study, and create cures and vaccinate treatment for a number of diseases. By conclude, travel, international trade, and worldwide communication have the positive impact to the person, but every person must control them and know the exact way to do so in order to do not contaminate others to different diseases.